Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday night or Tuesday morning or wherever you're at in the world. Happy 12/12 for those of us in the this side of the pond. And you guys have been hopefully having a wonderful 12/12. And I do want to make sure everyone knows we do have the Odin's portal, which that's the 12/12. 12 is the number of the hanged man in the tarot, which is all about Odin hanging upside down and the wisdom that he was able to glean and due to his sacrifice. He sacrificed one of his human eyes in order to see higher. So that's where all like the runes and stuff came from, which is an amazing story. So be sure to check out your 12/12 portal, see what it was bringing to you today, because it's still going to be, this is when it's wide open, but it's still going to impact you until like the 1/1 portal that will be coming up here so fast. I can't believe it's New Year's going to be coming up. So before we get started, I do want to send love out to the world. So if you would love to join me in doing that, I would welcome that. Just going to take a big deep breath and just come back to right here, right now. And if you're watching this on playback, please still join us. We'll join all together outside of space and time where that beautiful love energy exists. We'll let it fall down into our heart, fill us up, and flow out to the world. And if you are in need of unconditional love, this moment for your heart, for your body, your mind, for a loved one, for a situation, we send love to you right now as well. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so, so much. Excuse me. So, as always, excited to see what messages Spirit is going to bring through this evening. Just go ahead and get my screen all set up here, and we will get into the readings. And as always, donations do prioritize your reading. So, if you need to know that, there you go. All right. So we are set. So let us dive in and see what Spirit has. Hopefully, you guys are having an amazing moment. If not, we can switch it if we want, right? In this moment, what story am I putting to life? What story am I putting to my emotions? Just to refocus it and choose love in this moment and open up to Spirit, right? I love it. Hey, V, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so you can donate with the super chat down below, or this will be at the bottom of the chat, or if you prefer by PayPal or Venmo, if you click on the and look in the description box of the video, it actually is listed at the top the link to for PayPal payment and donation, or Venmo as well. So whichever you prefer. YouTube does take 30% of the super chat, which they've got expenses, so I understand. But PayPal and Venmo do take less of that donation if that is easier and convenient. But whatever you'd like to do. So thank you for asking. All right. Good to see you. All right. Let me move the microphone back so you don't have to hear me so loud. So, Valverde, you are up first. It should be listed in the description box of the video there. Let me see here. Let me open up my information. I can pop it down into the in there as soon as it opens up. And it is taking time for it to open here. So I closed down everything before we start. You're technically challenged. Well, you're barking up the wrong tree here. No, I'm just kidding. Let me grab it here. There it comes. All right. So let me just grab it at the top here. Let me just grab this here. I know on phones sometimes it's weird too. You're funny. Let's see if those work here. Oh, it's too big. Let me see here. All right. See if that works there. So there's the Venmo. Okay. Oh. So sorry. Thank you guys for your patience here. Obviously, that was not a link. Let me just grab that here. At least YouTube doesn't read it as a link without that HTTP in front of there. So let me just add that on here. All right. So this should work here. Let me see. There it goes. That should work there. So yeah, that's good. I'll make sure to have that available in the future. Uh, easy. So make it easy breezy for everyone. So all right. So thank you guys. Let's get started on readings here. So all right. So thank you so much, Vanita, for your donation. So we will jump you to the head of the line and we will definitely, I love you too. um, and we will jump in here and we're looking for a general reading. Absolutely. And then Valverde, you'll be the first free reading after that. So let's take a look here and see what we got going on for you, Benita. And you have the Priestess of Light Oracle are calling out to you. So let's see what they have to start off here. All right. Wow, look at that. So you've got angelic assistance. Beautiful card. Card number 6, divine guidance, loving support. So it says, this tender-hearted, smiling angel brings you a message of encouragement and support. Heavenly light emanates from her heart and hands, and the brilliance of divine consciousness shines down from above to the top of her head. And this vibrating resonance of healing and loving power is all around you, brought by the angels who long to assist you in every area of your life. If you've never turned to the angels before, now is the time to start. They are a very real presence in the world, and they can exert a significant influence on your life. If you have a problem that needs resolving or a project that needs some inspiration, the angels can help you there. Whether you're working on a physical issue or a difficult relationship, the angels bring clarity and healing. So stop resisting and open up to their very real power. Invite them to walk with you through your day. Ask for their guidance, their energy, and joyous resolutions. Then let yourself stop and take a moment to receive. You'll be amazed by the healing, peace, and inspiration that comes your way. And the affirmation for the card is, my life is filled with angelic power. I ask for their assistance and open up to their healing love. And that is a beautiful card, and beautiful message too, because you know we of course have free will, and before we come down here, we meet with our whole support team and going, "This is what I want to experience down here on Earth," and they're always working on that stuff. But outside of that, they won't mess with our free will and our decisions. But if we, of our own free will, ask them to come meddle in our life and ask them for confirmations and healing and all that kind of stuff, they definitely will meddle because we're giving them permission and inviting them to. So we can ask them every day as soon as we remember in the morning, come meddle in my life in positive ways, help me live my highest experience, and show me signs and synchronicities and beautiful things. And they definitely will. They're so able to multitask, which is probably your spirit animal is a or spirit guide is a multitasker for sure. And they will definitely be there, so I like that. And then we're going to pull some cards here from the tarot of the magical forest for you, see what else they would like to add on to that. All right. So let's see what else we got coming in here. All right. So, of course, your first card is the Chariot card, which is all about the power of choice. So, again, they're bringing in the free will message that every moment you actually have the power to choose what emotion you want to feel as you're going through it and what story you apply to it, um, as well. And in the beginning, it doesn't feel like we're making a choice because we are so brainwashed and conditioned when we're younger growing up of the supposed tos and the shoulds, the need tos, the have tos, the must, all those expectations. And they're all opinion, popular opinion that we're given when we're younger, and we're children. We don't know any better. We're just like, okay, thank you, taking on all these opinions. And then we take on those opinions and they become our opinion. And then outside of that, they then become our habit of feeling a certain way and believing a certain way. And then it becomes so much of our habit, it becomes our reaction where it happens so fast. We don't feel like we're making an emotional choice or a mental choice. But I love that they're bringing it in here that you hold that power and that when you're ready, you can choose a new habit of how you believe about a certain thing or feel around a certain thing. And then your life doesn't feel so much like it's being like you're a puppet to circumstance, because when we don't feel like we are m- uh, you know empowered to make the choice, then we don't know what's coming around the next corner. It's like, oh my god, that happens, this is how I have to feel, and I'm supposed to think about it this way, and so we do. But when you realize that you have that power and that control, we fear less about the future. We have less anxiety and anxiousness about what's coming because it doesn't matter. Theoretically, I could choose that no matter what comes around the corner. I'm just looking at it as the story I put to it is it's happening for me and I'm excited about it. And then the emotion is excitement and joy. And it would be boring, if I felt that way the rest of my life. Hey, it might be nice to try it for a while though, right? But because there's neither right or wrong, they just feel differently. They impact us differently. Choices of fear contract, make us feel small, a lot of wonderful anxiety and emotions that are rooted in fear. And then the unconditional love is the other choice, which is all about joy and laughter and feeling that unconditional love and happiness and that and it's expansive instead of contractive. So I really like that because you also do get the Ace of Cups, which is them reiterating about this other choice that's always there, as well, and it's expansive and available for you there. And All right, very good. I was just wanting to make sure you didn't have a question there. And and I like that because you're being offered it here. Obviously it's showing up very clearly here. Here's the other, cups, the emotions of the outside world, relationship situations and things. And I like how they have this person, instead of appearing bored, they're meditating and they're bringing in that unconditional love from above through here instead. So I really like that. I do see, like, right now you are going through a wonderful, wonderful shakeup with the devil card and the justice card. Both of these represent, this is Saturn energy that shakes up and rattles your thoughts and your beliefs and your mindsets. You have the ace of swords here, which allows you to connect to the capital T truths of the higher world, and they allow you to balance out life from being out of balance with all the fears of losing conditional love, and that unconditional love comes in and balances things out. And the devil card, the shadow, our shadow, loves to bring those old thoughts and old beliefs and mindsets that I talked about, all our conditioning. It loves to bring them to our face for us to challenge them and question them and go, is this really what I want to experience? Is this really what I believe about myself, others in the world? Is this really what I believe about what a job should be, what a relationship should be, what the world should be? It's just really, whenever Saturn, in our birth chart comes around for the whole planet, whatever house it is in, it shakes and rattles our old belief systems that were, they helped us when they helped us, but they're usually outdated now, and that's when they shake and rattle and release it. So that's what's going on for you right now. This beautiful support system that is letting you know that they're there, and really bringing in the free will and the power of choice, and just really show how supported and loved you are, but how powerful you are too. And if you do have all this shaking and rattling and rolling going on in the outside world, you're like, ah, this is happening for me. Your shadow has brought this up because the more it rattles your cage, the more you realize you're in a cage and that you can step out of the door. So that is what they have for you, Benita. So thank you again so much for your donation, and much, much love to you and many blessings to you. So you hang in there. All right. So we will move back to the free readings, and Valverde, you are up. So let's take a look here and see a general love reading for the next 2 weeks. So only for the next 2 weeks. We'll see what they have coming in here and see what we have. All right. So I do see here, as far as love is concerned over the next 2 weeks, there's some peace of mind that is coming about in here. And you are in this kind of paused period here with the Hanged Man, which here is the 1212 portal representation here, which I posted the link to the 1212 portal. So with the Hanged Man showing up, I would really encourage you to go check out your 1212 portal. If you know your moon sign and or your Venus sign, check out the readings for that, um, because you're asking about love and relationship, that will bring some additional information around what knowledge will help you either move forward or stay still. And there'll be messages there for you, because you do have the commitment card here coming in. And so while you're kind of in this pause period, this resting, it is having you look and question your thoughts and beliefs and mindsets around what commitment means. What does a relationship mean? And so it definitely feels like there has been an upheaval in your past with this Tower card in regards to relationship. Like someone left your life, and very abruptly, it feels like. And so this, does say that whatever unfolded always unfolds for you. When people leave our lives, they're not leaving us. They're being moved out of our life on purpose for a purpose. And it actually moves people out of our way so that we can move forward in more alignment with where we want to head in our life and where we're destined to be. And it also clears space. Okay, it clears the table and that we might have reserved for a certain someone. But it's like, nope, they remove the reserve sign and say, we're keeping this chair open for someone else. This other person did what they were supposed to do. They mirrored what they were supposed to mirror, but they're they've moved out of your life because they spirit and your spiritual posse have something more in alignment with your soul purpose and your heart than them. So they showed you what they needed to show you, but now they've been removed. And so this pausing period is for you to really reflect on your thoughts and your beliefs around yourself. What did you see in that mirror when they sat across from you at that table? What did they show you about how you felt about yourself? Because we'll continue getting these mirrors come into our life to show us what we want to see about ourselves until we see it. Then we see it and we're set free. And so they're not doing it out of you know, torture, they're doing it for us. Even though sometimes it feels like they're just being jerks, right? But they're not. They're actually their higher self behind them is being this loving mirror for us. So that is what they have for you right now. So I like that for you. Let me just make sure we're all doing good here. All right, very good. All right. So Valverde, that's what they have for you over these next 2 weeks. It's about that internal hanging upside down with the hangman. But be sure to check out your 1212 portal for your moon and your Venus if you know them. If not, just go to whichever video draws you. If it's not your sun sign, if you don't know those others, just follow your heart. Spirit will still nudge you in the direction for those additional messages. So I like it. All right. So Anya Ahuya, you are the next free reading that's up. And you want to know how will your crush react if you confess to him? Ooh, all right. Let's take a look here. So if you confessed right now, tonight, today, how would they react? Okay. Anything else? All right. So first of all, they're saying, don't do it tonight. Temperance, patience, wait, which is good. Because they're saying right now it's a time for you to really look into you. The high priestess is you taking a step back, looking at your self-love, how you feel about yourself, all these rules that might be around relationship. They're saying, don't don't confess anything. Look inward around self-love and how you feel about yourself. Um, Even think about all the fears you have about their reaction and understand what that means about your self-love. They're like, do all that first, and then if you confess, then they'll see it as this wonderful overflowingness. But now, if you do it, it wouldn't be that way because there's this insecurity. There's this, this means their reaction means everything about me, and da 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 da. And there's all this energy, that vibrational energy that would come out in that conversation that would not take it in a positive way that like this would. So really looking inward, um, at that, all those questions and your self-love, and go through the scenarios. If they reacted that way, how does that make me feel, and why does it make me feel that way? And those are my emotions to deal with and reflect. And so it's saying, look in here, pause, wait, step back, go in here, look at the unconscious, the subconscious behind the veil, connect to spirit, look at your heart, look at your self-love. And then when you're like, okay, you know what? I don't care. I'm okay with all the outcomes now because you've looked at the fears and you have really seen the fears for the lies that they are. And then you feel like, I don't care. It's a win-win for me if I tell them. And with this, after this reflection, If I tell them and they act in any other way, and they're like, "Oh my God, no," and you're like, "All right, then I know," and I get to move on. Or if they do, they're like, "Yay!" It's going to feel like a win-win on the approach rather than having fear. And so that's why they're saying pause, look inward, do that, and then when you feel comfortable with whatever outcome, that's the time to confess. And then you'll be fine either way, because when you're in that side of it, you just look at it as like, oh, inside you're like, well, they're lost. Oh well, I'm gonna go find someone who's more deserving of me. That's the kind of confidence and self-love that you'll have when you do the stop and step back like the high priestess. So I like that for you, Anya. So that's what they have. Many blessings for you. All right. So we'll continue going down the list here. All right, very good. And so we'll go to the next free reading, which is Skyfalls, Project Skyfalls. I think I told you that already. Skyfall is a James Bond movie. And so every time I see that, I hear the James Bond music start to play in my head. All right. So you'd like to know if you'll have, oh, yeah, you can have a general reading. All right. Absolutely. Let's take a look here and see. I am drawn to the angel and ancestor oracle. So let's take a look here and see what they have for you this evening. Yep. And so you have the hunter card coming in here. And that is track down your fears and desires. So let's take a look here and see what else the hunter has. So, yeah, track down all of your fearful thoughts and feelings. And when you find them, you will find your desires too. The hunter card is based on the famous Celtic god Cernunnos, maybe Cernunnos. I probably murdered that. My apologies. He is the stag god of the wild and represents both the hunted and the hunter. Similarly, the hunter helps you connect with an energy that is both fearful and fearless. Your fears are the only things that are standing between you and what you desire at this time. So you have to come face to face with them, as the hunter does with wild animals, and go beyond them. The extended message for this is, instead of being hunted down by your fears or other feelings that you have buried, become the hunter. You're being given confidence and strength at this time. So use your power to make a difference. You are not here to cower away or live in the shadows. You are here to realize your fullest potential. But this can only occur when you step up and do what needs to be done. And when this card arises, there could be an opportunity to face an aspect of your past or being closure to a situation that has been haunting you. If you're a man or identify as a male, this card represents your masculinity and an opportunity to know yourself more deeply. If you're a female or identify as a female, this card represents your capacity to be strong and powerful and overcome limitations. Boom. There is your general reading, Project Skyfalls. I like it. So that is what they have for you. All right. So let me just take a look here. I did have a donation come through here, and let's take a look here. And it comes through as a different name sometimes, and I don't see. So, okay, thank you. All right, Mother Gaia, that's right. I was like, the name sounds familiar, but I couldn't remember which one it was. So, thank you, Mother Gaia. All right. So, thank you for your donation, and what's up? So, you want to know if you finally closed the old cycles by choosing self-love. Absolutely. Let's take a look here and see what they have. And I'm being drawn to the divine guidance deck here. Thank you, lucky stars. You'll be up next. Good evening. So, Mother Gaia. What about this closure? Okay. Wow, you got this beautiful. This is actually the main card for this deck, which is card 44, very powerful number. I like that. I always call it the spiritual ink blot test. So when you see this, it's like, what does this? What do you see in it? And then, of course, I'll read from the book here too. But what you see is up to you. So this is divine guidance card. Says, beautiful soul, you play a very important role in the awakening of the planet. Your light is so needed here, and you're always wrapped in the loving embrace of the divine. It is in those times when your tears may fall or when you feel most alone that your angels and guides are with you the most, shining their light and love on you. Not for one moment should you doubt this. You, special soul, are being lovingly guided and supported on your path. Divine guidance is leading you gently. So look for the signs, feel the love, and know that you are supported always. So yeah, I feel like that when they're saying that about, choosing self-love, choosing love from above, inward and upward, and feeling that love helps close out the cycles even more. The self-love is really where that originates from anyway. Your capital S self-love when you're feeling that. And let me see what else they have here through the tarot of the magical forest. See what else we have here. Wow. 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 That is amazing. Wow. Yeah. uh that's just how perfect. How perfect is that? All right. All right. So you do have the 5 of cups here, which would be totally like we say, we do cry, we do mourn over spilt cups, right? We do look at the disappointment we feel when we look to the outside world to love us, to show us in many ways how we define our worth too, by relationships, by situations, and by things. It's what we're taught, and we look out there, and boy, do we get disappointed in relationships and situations like jobs and education and whatever circumstances that we experience in life, and things like bodies and bank accounts and possessions, all this stuff that we're told is supposed to make us feel whole and fill us up and allow us to feel loved and lovable and worthy. And people change, they pass away, situations never stay the same. And of course, things break down, deteriorate, blow up, catch on fire, stolen. And so we end up disappointment after disappointment after disappointment and after disappointment. Eventually, we do turn inward because we're like, there's nowhere else to look. We've looked all, looking for love in all those disappointing places. And eventually we turn inward, and that's what this is about, is that we come here to mourn this, and we, experience these things, and it's like boom, we eventually are able to turn around and see the 2 of cups here, which is true love, inner love, but it also is emotional choice. And this is, every moment is either the fear of losing conditional love, or the Ace of Cups, which is the chalice, the holy grail, that which we just talked about in that divine guidance card, which is, yeah, it's upward, and feeling that love that is the only stable thing. It's unconditional, no conditions, nothing we can do to lose it, and eternal, never ends. And so we base our worth on that instead. And that's what transforms, which is, I basically was talking about the Four of Pentacles card with not even realizing it was over there, which is all about us defining our worth by the outside world and eventually turning inward for that solid foundation. And then, the world changes around us. We totally look at it differently because we're no longer looking to those things that aren't designed to fulfill us and make us feel whole. Like you said, toxic relationships. It's the toxic relationship that we have are our toxic beliefs, right? That this outside world is supposed to make me happy. It should, needs to, has to, must. These are all the expectations, all the pointing out that is done into the outside world. And we're all taught that, and we all it's like that. This is the giant roller coaster ride that we've come here to ride in this giant amusement park of fear rides. We come here on purpose, for purpose. We come here, we're drawn here to experience these emotions because we don't get to experience those on the other side. And by experiencing what we're not, we more fully understand who we are. It's like this tapestry. I refer to it a lot when it comes to contrast. We're these bright white beings of light that is just, we're around all of that and we can't see the difference because it's all bright. But when we experience the shadow, then the design comes out. We are like, wow, I understand more fully who I am because I'm experiencing who I'm not. It's like breathing air. We breathe air all the time, but I don't realize I'm breathing air until I'm 6 feet underwater, looking up, going, "Oh, that is air. This is non-air." And I understand them both, very, very clearly in all this. And I, appreciate both. And I start swimming back towards the air, towards unconditional love, because that's where I really feel that I, can breathe. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We aren't we're taught treat others how you want to be treated, but we actually are treating others how we're treating ourselves. We see the mirror in others, that they're all showing us how we feel about ourselves. And so when we look into a mirror and go, no one loves me, it's then we can go, oh, I don't, that means I haven't loved myself. Like I talk about like my relationships. I go, 3 out of 5 cheated on me, and it's like, hindsight, it was clear while we're in it. We're like, "Ah, I can't see it." But later, spirit was like, I go, why did they cheat on me? Like, well, they were showing you the mirror of yourself. And I go, who was I cheating on? I was faithful to all of them. And they're like, you were cheating on yourself. I go, what? And they're like, yeah, you were looking for your worth in someone else, but your self worth comes from self. But you were looking out there for it. And so you were cheating on yourself with others. And I was like, wow. And eventually that sunk in, and I'm like, okay, I see how this works. What I see in everyone else, they're mirrors of how they're treating me. Somehow I'm treating myself that way on the inside. And so there's this beautiful power that's coming through this here for you because you have the Hierophant, which is you're really understanding what your truth is, who you really are beyond all those mindsets and thoughts and beliefs that are there. And so that is there, this truth, capital T truths that are expanding. And you're realizing these small t truths of fear aren't true. And you're moving those away as you are really doing this beautiful inner reflection work. Because you have the Knight of Wands, which is the knights all have quests, and this knight quest after the Ace of Wands, which is finding your power and realizing that you expand whatever you're focusing on. So when we're focusing on our fears or what we feel we're missing, or um, that we have in our life that we don't, we grow that, we feed it. It's like the white wolf and the black wolf. You probably heard the story. We all have them inside of us, and they ask, "Well, which one?" They're battling. Which one wins? Well, whichever one you feed. So we're feeding our fears and stuff that grows, but if we focus on what we're grateful for, and unconditional love and peace and laughter and joy and what we do want, then that expands. And so we have this beautiful transformation that's happening. And I really feel like this is what's coming for you because you do have the wheel of fortune, the 10, the endings and new beginnings. And so the wheel is turning now and bringing you these fated events, these beautiful change in your life with this decision that you made today. You're like, you know what? I am going to look at myself because no one can love me. Um, no one can give me the love I'm looking for because I can only find that in here. They can only give me imitation. They can give me that gluten-free cardboard pizza you buy at the store. You're like, "Pfft." But what you can make inside of you is so much more, and that's the connection. So that is what they have for you right now. Mother Gaia. So thank you so much again for your donation and hang in there. This is the beginning of a beautiful opening up. You're escaping out of your cage and it's a little scary at first, but it's so worth it. And you'll see that for sure. So thank you again and many blessings to you. Kashik, no, you are not. Up next, you actually are kind of further in the bottom of the list right now for free readings. I do bump up the donations get priority. So that's why I'm kind of going out of line for some people. And then I'll return back to the top and continue to go down. So you'll be a little while. All right. So Lucky Stars, thank you for your donation. And you are up next. And you want to know who is in love with you? Who's not? Isn't that an easier question? All right, let's take a look here. So let's see what Spirit would like you to know. Who is in love with you? That's funny. Mother Nature. So your mother loves you. Isn't that like the well, why do you believe that? Well, my mom thinks I'm great. So I think it's funny. I think they're being hilarious there because they also gave you the Hermit, which is about your inner journey towards self-love and things as well. So it's like you love you and your mama loves you. um, but I know. So who is in romantic love with you? They're being a little funny tonight, huh? All right. Well, you definitely do have someone because you have the 10 of Cups here, which is about emotional fulfillment. And of course, it's all about that. Let's see if I can hide here. Come on. Focus, focus, focus. There it goes a little bit. So there's this beautiful, 10 of Cups coming in here. So tell us about that. It's like they're going to make up for teasing you and give me some guidance on here. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. So you got the 10 of Cups, which is like such an awesome romantic card anyway. Then you get the two wish fulfillment cards. You got both the Star card and the 9 of Cups. So there is this wonderful romantic love that is there for you. Let me see. Is it someone who's in your life right now? Is it someone you know? We have the Queen of Wands. So this would be someone who is very fiery, very focused, very intuitive. So it is someone that knows what they want, someone who's very direct and very not like in a blunt way. They're just very able to focus the energy and do things. And so they don't mess around with beating around the bush and, um, hiding things. So I feel like that you would know who this is if they're in their life right now. Yeah, and I get the 7 of Cups here, which is, I feel like more there's a lot of I feel like this is you looking at the possible loves, and you're like, "It's among them. It's gotta be among them." Let me see. Okay. So I don't know if this beautiful, bright wish is here yet, because the Temperance card, I feel like things are unfolding, and that the Page of Pentacles, it's new opportunities, something new coming into your life. So I feel like that there's not you're going, huh? But I feel like that they're not, that it's not that you don't know them yet. Because with that page, the Knave of Pentacles is newness coming in. Um, so I don't feel like it's someone that's in your, yeah, because you have the Four of Cups too, which is like this would be like the 7 cups down here. It's like these are the people down here, but it's a new love that's being offered that will be coming in. So I almost feel like they're like saying, well, you don't really want, the who is in love with me now, because they're like, that's those cups that aren't going to fill you up like what's coming for you. And I feel like that's what they're saying is that you don't know them yet. And let me see if they'll give us any. Yeah, because they did say here it's the full card. It's a new adventure. It's someone new that will be coming in. Let me see here. I know we like the when. They always say in divine timing. But let's take a look here and see. Yeah, it's gonna be it's not like super, super quick, but because you've got the 9 of Wands and the 3 Wands, you're removing obstacles to be able to move through, and, the 3 of Wands is that you're taking a change of direction, and in the meantime, they have you working on your thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, those that make you feel chained and limited, and but it's worth it because you have the Sun card, which is about victory and brightness that comes in. So they say it's definitely worth it to look into these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that are making you feel restricted and small regarding relationship. But it's like someone new. It's like it's not going to be anything like before. And the important thing is to cut away those limitations, because I feel like, let me just finish putting these cards in here. All right, there we go. So it's like if you have this blinder on, like you've removed a lot of blinders, and so you have this, but I feel like they're over here and you can't see it until more of them go in, like, oh, there they are. And that's when they come in to your life. But it's important to release more of these thoughts and beliefs about the supposed tos and the shoulds and the need tos about yourself and the others and relationship, because it's going to be something unlike anything you've had before, in good ways. So I like it for you, lucky stars. So that's what they have right now. I know. I wish I had like a initials or whatever, but that takes all the fun out of it, right? It's an adventure. That full card, a new adventure you're embarking on. So I like it. So that's what they have for you. So many blessings to you, lucky stars. And I think that's all of the donations for right now. So we will return back to the free readings at the top and work our way down. All right. So Sky Falls, we took care of you. And Cynthia Brito, you are up next. And you wanted a general for the next 4 days. So let's take a look here. See what Spirit would like you to know. 4 days. All right. So the next 4 days, Spirit is showing you here. It's like this hanging around. I know the patience card, right? Not that. But right now, it is a time for you just hanging out, doing reflection. You have your higher self calling you to look inward, to look at things. And what they're wanting you to look at is these two cards, which you have looking at your fears of heartbreak and the expectations of the past, and allow yourself to move. The Six of Swords is like these three swords are, behind, and you're moving into new ways of thinking. You're moving from shaky ground or shaky waters to calmer waters. And that happens because you're looking at your fears of losing love and these expectations around relationship, who you're supposed to be, what everything is supposed to be, who there's, it's just all those restrictions that I was just talking about um, in the reading that I was just completing, because it's those are the things that make us feel small and make us fear, and especially when we're looking out there defining ourselves by other people's actions, which are totally out of our control. We can't control anyone, but we have our worth depend upon their actions. And then when they do something stupid, we're like, oh my gosh, that means I'm stupid. We're like, where did we get that logic? Well, that's what we're told when we're growing up. How other people treat us means who we are. Doesn't mean that's who they are. And we're like, that's totally opposite. How people treat others is how they feel about themselves. And so we can look and go, oh, how do I treat others? And we're like, oh, that's a good check, right? Let me look at that. And what I think other people's actions mean about me is how I feel about myself, or where does that belief stem from? And let's look into that and transform it. And that's where that Six of Swords is moving from these old thoughts and ways of looking at things to new ways. So that's your next 4 days. That's your homework. They're like saying you are hanging upside down in your cocoon, like that bat in that card, the Hanged Man. Oh, yeah. And then make sure that's also the Odin's portal, the 1212, because that's the card number 12. So be sure to check out your portal reading. And if you know your moon sign and your Venus sign, check those out, because you're asking about love, and those will help you understand what this portal will bring you some information around those as well. So that's what they have for you, Cynthia. So many blessings to you. Enjoy the next 4 days. All right. You are very welcome, Lucky Stars. All right. So, Colleen, hello, hello. Happy Monday to you. Good to see you. Thanks for bringing in your beautiful energy. And so, and then Star, you are up next for the next free reading. Should you worry about your boyfriend? Always worry about boyfriends. No. Is there any chance that you could be pregnant? Okay, well, let's take a look here. So, what would Spirit like you to know around your boyfriend here? All right. And then any chance about pregnancy? Let's just pull a card on that. Of course, tarot should never replace any professional medical or pregnancy tests. uh, okay. So let's take a look here. With these cards here, just around your boyfriend, you have the High Priestess, which is all about, she goes back, dives deep into the unconscious, the subconscious behind the veil, connects to the high realms, intuition. And then also the Moon card is a lot about going down in the depths of the unknown, what is hidden, what is not there. And so both of these cards have a hidden type of energy around it. And the Nine of Pentacles is this, Pentacles is about our outside world and all the stuff out there on the physical stage. And this is about you having this uh, inner journey. The pentacle, the nine, I'm sorry, is like the hermit's journey, which is about stepping inward. And they're in this garden by themselves, feeling whole and complete. And the little bird on here is spirit. So you're never alone. You have your whole spiritual posse that's there with you. But with this hiddenness and with you, with spirit nudging you to focus in on you, onto your wholeness within, because you have the knave of swords, which is the page of swords. It's new thought, new belief, new mindset, and cutting away these old, like these tiny fears you have in relation to, that's like the worry. Worry is fear. It's like, should I have fears around my boyfriend? Well, fears are happening here, not out here. People's actions are people's actions, but the story we put to them, the fears we have around what do their actions mean about me, that's the crux of everything. And that's what spirit is having you look at here with, you know, the Ace of Swords allows you to see things from a higher perspective. It allows you to have new knowledge, new awareness around what your thoughts are, cutting away those fears, allowing you to have this contented feeling of wholeness within yourself, not dependent upon other people's actions defining who you are or what it means about your lovability and your worth. It's just like, okay, like we were just talking about, other people's actions tell us about them, not about us. What we see in their actions about us is about us. And then we get to look at that and go, why do I believe that? Where does that come from? Is that true? No, other people's actions don't mean anything about me. It just is their expression of what's going on inside of them. So someone speaks very harshly and says, "You're ugly" to me. I'm like, "Oh," because now I don't take it personally that they're saying something against me. I'm like, "Oh, they feel they're ugly because I'm just a mirror. I'm a mirror, a giant, full length mirror walking around. People look at it and go, "Oh my gosh, what a funny looking person." And I'm like, "Wow, that's pretty hilarious because you're looking in a mirror." And that's what we learn, through this. And so I feel like these fears are coming up on purpose for you to really look at those. Because you have the temperance, which is patience and the working out of things, balancing out of things. And so I feel like these fears are coming in, because you're looking in that mirror and you're fearing things around them. So that's what they want you to know about that. So should I worry about my boyfriend? We can worry all we want, but we're going to worry as long as we have fears inside of us. That's just how it works. And then if we don't want to worry about people anymore, then we do our inner work and we look at our fears, and that solves. We fear less, and then we become fearless, and then we're just like, "Oh, okay." So when they go do their little actions, if they go cheat on you, if they're doing whatever, then you're just like, okay, well, that's not about me. That's about them. Do I still want to hang around that? I can do without it. I don't care. You know, then rather than it's like, oh, I'm desperate because I have to have them be faithful to me in order for me to be worthy. And it's like, no, you get to take your power back. Um, and then is there any chance that you could be pregnant? It's just like there's this frog here with two of wands, which is like standing in between two things. Whatever you focus on is what grows. um, and the nine of wands too here. So here's the same frog, but there's this block that's happening here, this energetic block, and then also the knight of swords. So the swords making itself known here again about thought and belief and mindset, and um, the chance of you being pregnant is another fear. And then so that is all coming back to that. They're not giving you answers on these in a super super clear way, as far as like, should you worry? Yes, he's cheating on you. Are you pregnant? No, or yes. They're like going, it's It's the unknown, like that high priestess and the moon. It's the unknown, the hidden that is freaking you out. And you're able to look at those fears because these things are coming up to bring the fears to the surface so that you can face them and transform them. So that's what they have for you right now. And I know whenever they answer questions with questions, I know they did that to me for years and years and years. And I fought it tooth and nail through the whole process. They were patient with me. And I'm glad that they did because it does free us. So hang in there and be patient with them. They're trying to help you free yourself. So hang in there. Sending you many blessings and love, Star. All right. So let's continue going down the list here. All right. And we are to PK. So will you recover from COVID and flu this week? Oh, I'm so sorry. We're sending you lots of love energy. Help your body recover fast. It is that season of flu for sure. And I know COVID is still going around, having its good old time, bringing us all our beautiful lessons, right? Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, I feel like you have the 3 of Cups, joy. This is your spiritual posse too. Just know that they're around you, giving you a lot of love, giving you a lot of um, energy to help for you. I do show you have your this is energy, the 4 of Wands is energy. You have balance, stability. So your energy is stabilizing, and you do have the Hierophant, which has to do with it's like during this time you're really having some foundations shaken and like what do you truly believe, what do you truly believe about yourself and who you are at your core. And when we're sick it really just tears away a lot of walls and filters, and we're just like we get to see our true fears come up. Do I believe in life after death? Do I believe that the creator really is real and there is a spirit world? Whenever we have this thought of, I could pass away, I could not survive, we get like fearful, right? But it's really brings it to our face too, and it makes us realize that and just know that your spiritual posse is around. And if you um, ask them for support, ask them to help you heal, ask them to give you signs and let them know that you're there, they definitely will. And I feel you're fine. You have 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment and new adventures. Um, so I feel like you will recover, and you have more things to do. You definitely have a path to continue on. So just hang in there. Try not to fear. Um, Focus on unconditional love and just let that fill you up, because then when your body's in fear, your immune system shuts down. It does a lot of weird stuff to try to, in the moment, try to protect itself from beastly animals. So if you focus on surrounding yourself with a big, huge ball of love and light, just let it fill you up from head to toe. And then you are able to uh, let your body be at its perfect healing machine that it is too. So, and we send you lots of love. In fact, I'm going to write down just really quick here. We'll send you love healing every day until you are better. So hang in there. You are loved, you are lovable, and you are a super duper healing machine. So hang in there, PK. We send you lots of love. All right. So we'll continue going down the list here. Whoops. Activating things all over the place here. All right. So we'll continue moving down the list. We're at the top of the hour, so I do a public service announcement of um, Donations do get priority, so, the list gets very long very fast. So if you wanna make sure that we do cover your reading in this session, a donation makes you priority. I step out of line, I complete that, and then once the donations are completed, the donation readings, and I step back in line, I continue go in order down, the line for the free reading. So that has been your public service message. We now return back to the regular scheduled program. All right. So, Alex, you want to know what ours feelings are for you? Thank you guys so much for all the thumbs up, too. It really helps out my channel. It helps the YouTube algorithm get excited about the channel and the videos, and it shares it with other people as well. And it's the perfect price, which is free. So, thank you. And it feels like a little small thing hitting like, but it does definitely help out the channel during the live and even after in replay. It helps. So, thank you guys so much for being part of the tsunami of love. All right. Here we go, Alex. Ours feelings for you. All right. Well, what do we have here? Well, it seems like they're kind of in a quandary. It's like going back and forth between heart and mind and heart and mind. They're just like going in different directions, or seeing like two different ways of looking at things. And right here in the middle is the Six of Cups too, which is this beautiful. I like the way they interpret this is this equal giving and receiving of love between individuals. So they do have this care and this love, but I just feel like they're in this little quandary. They're at this, in a crossroads. I was like, what does it mean when you're like at a a fork in the road? They're like contemplating and thinking and going back and forth between heart and mind and heart and mind, and what do they want to do? What do they want to do? And so they're kind of like just in this indecision, at this point, of what they want to do around those feelings. They have feelings. It's just they are trying to understand them. They're trying to get their mind to understand them, what they want to do with it and make a decision. So that's what's going on right now. uh, it's like, oh, it's currently a giant question mark in their brain. Their heart knows, but their brain is like, I don't know what I want to do with this. So that's what they have for you, Alex. So enjoy the process. When we're in our waiting period, as we always say, when it seems like life has slowed down. It's like spirit has slowed down life for us to be able to focus on our self-love, to expand it so that we can raise our love vibration to that of what it needs to be at to draw in a connection. So when life seems to go slow, just realize it's happening for us, and it's time for us to work on our self-love. And the more we work on our self-love, the faster the outside world starts to move. So I like it. But right now, it's just focusing on you while you wait for them to get that thing going up there. All right, Alex. So that's what they have for you. Many blessings for you. All right. And Pooja Gupta, you are up next. And you want to know what the 1212 portal is bringing in Naman's and your connection. Of course, I've been talking about the 1212 portal readings that I have. So if you have not checked that out yet, be sure to, it's in the description box of this video. I posted it in the chat too. And if you're wanting to know about love, check out your Venus and your moon sign around that. So we'll see here, though, what additional information that Spirit has for you. Okay. Can you tell me more about this, please? I just need to see which way this is going here. All right. Not helping. All right. Well, let's take a look here. Let me go this far. We'll see what comes through, because you have the Two of Wands, which is about, it's going to go one of two ways, right? It's like there's this crossroads, there's this choice that's about to be made in regarding to your connection. And and then you got the Tower card and the Death card, which endings and new beginnings and something being removed out of your life to make space for something new. Now, this could be either way. I mean, it could be an ending of where you're at and it's going up to a new level in the relationship, or it could be that it's totally going a different, it's like ending completely. And I'm like, okay, well, what is this about? Tell me which way that it's going. And then I get the Two of Pentacles about balance and a Justice card about balancing out thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, balancing in the outside world. And I'm like, all right, that's really not telling me anything. It's just like, again, it's like, well, it could be either one. And I'm like, all right. And then they give me the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands talks about fire and movement, connection to the higher realms, trusting your gut, trusting your instinct. Whatever the queen focuses on, she's able to really super focus her energy, and it's able to get things done. And I'm like, okay, well, that just tells me more of this, uh, like your energy, right? Of your what's going on with you. And so we have the Eight of Swords here too, which is about your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets that are making you feel blinded and bound and trapped within those thoughts and those beliefs. And um, so they're still not telling us the outcome here. Yeah, and then they give you the Hanged Man. So here's the portal. Here's the 1212 portal. And this is about pausing and inner reflection and transformation of yourself. And it's like there's this rebirth happening. And I feel like they're saying right now, it's like it's all about you. It's all you're inside of your cocoon. You're the caterpillar that are letting things go, letting thoughts and beliefs and mindsets go. You're the one that your power is transforming yourself on the inside. The outside, you'll be getting to that once you get out of the cocoon. But right now, they're saying now is the time of the cocoon. Really, go check because they, of course, they're like they're throwing the Hanged Man card, which is the portal, the main thing of that 1212 portal readings. So I definitely would go check those out. I feel like they're pointing you to your moon sign and your Venus sign to go check those out in that playlist, um, because I feel like there's information for you there. But right now, they're just like saying you're in the cocoon and it's all about you right now. So I'm sorry. I wish they were more clear, but they know what you need to hear in this moment. And definitely go check out the 1212 Odin's portal, which is out there. So hang in there. Thanks for your patience and many blessings to you, Pooja. All right. So we'll continue moving down the list here. And let me just take a look here. Actually, did get a donation here. All right. And let's take a look here. So thanks for your understanding, Pooja. I know I'm like, I want to know. I want everyone to get all the answers they want, but of course that's me. That's my human and spirit definitely wants to bring in our what we need for this moment, not what we want. I know. So hang in there. All right. And let's see here. And so I'm not seeing the name that came through in the donation here. So if you are here, please let me know who you are so I know which question I can answer here. So I don't think it. Oh, wow. It can be. Um, is your first name start with a oh, I guess G, that makes sense. Okay, okay, I see now. So, G-mon is your initials and some of your okay, I got it. So thank you, I did get that. So thank you, G-mon. Yeah, it did go through. Sorry that it was giving you trouble there. And, so let's take a look here. Did you already ask your question up above? There you go. Do you need to be concerned with your job? All right. So thank you. Well, let's take a look here and see what spirit would like you to know around that. We're going to actually switch over to the rider weight, the radiant rider weight. Let's see what we have here. All right. So, G-Man. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Well, it seems like this the 5 of Swords is the conflict card, which is a conflict of like expectations and beliefs that are happening and people trying to prove that, their point of view is the right one and not. And so it usually is like conflict in communication. And then there's the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is like with you becoming aware of your own thoughts and your beliefs and mindsets that are keeping you feeling blinded and bound and kind of trapped as well. And I do like this coming in here for you because what's happening in your job right now is your cage is being rattled on purpose because you have the Justice card, which has the Ace of Swords, and here it's almost like they're almost like brothers, right? You got the King of Swords here, and this is all about thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. And this is empowering you right now with this balancing out in your job of how you look at things, seeing things from a higher perspective, really looking at your fears in the job, which is what these cards represent are, the fears of um, not living up to some expectations. And the Five of Swords is this transformation of, really defending your fears. It's like when we fear that what someone is saying or the way someone wants to do something is going to impact us and make us, you know, unacceptable in some way, we get defensive, and everyone does that. The human gets defensive when it feels unsafe or out of control. And what's happening here is it's being brought up for you so that you can really get into the depths of your fears around your job and the limitations that you have on yourself around your thoughts and beliefs and fears where maybe you don't go for things like you don't go out of your comfort zone unless you're sure you're going to be successful at it because you've been taught growing up that failure is not an option. If you fail at something, it means you're a loser and you're not lovable and people are going to ostracize you. That's like a lot of what we're taught in school too, right? Don't be left behind, and so all this stuff, this conflict that's happening is coming up on purpose for a purpose. You have the temperance card here, which is the balancing out of things. So I feel like things will balance out as you really look at your fears and understanding. Because when you are in fear, like all of us, we go out of our minds. We are human, intelligent, compassionate, caring, loving side of our humanity goes out. And we become like a cat. That's what I usually been saying lately is we become this cat mind where we hiss and we attack and or hiss and run away, or we hiss and we attack and then run away. And it's like this is where this conflict comes up, is because of fears. And then when we get to understand what is making us fear, we fear less, and then we attack less, and we're able to balance things and go with the flow and shine rather than have fears, right? And so you have the page of wands here, which the page of wands is your drive, your ambition, your inspiration, your passions, and this is you standing in your power. This is you also standing in your power, but here's feeling attacked, here's feeling defensive, that you have to defend yourself. So the difference of, this is someone who feels defensive. They're in a higher ground, but these people feel low about themselves and they want this person to come back down here. But that's because of where they are. And so this person really doesn't need to defend themselves. These individuals down here are just feeling low, 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 low. And that's why they're bad mouthing or attacking, uh, you know, this person, not because this person deserves it, but because of how these people feel about themselves. And so this person, when they stand in their power and they realize, oh, these individuals, it's not about me, what they're doing, this is about how they feel about themselves, then you stand in your power more like this, where you feel empowered to help others. So instead of feeling defensive, then it's like I get to help people rise instead of feel I have to attack them. Yeah. And so there's these fears, and just know, with that defensiveness, that it's not about you. Their actions are not about you. Your fears around the situation are yours because they happen in here, not out there. So, there is this clarity of this is happening for you. So you can look at your fears and go, um, so, you fear being falsely accused. We fear that people will believe it. We fear that that means people will, you know, reject us. What will happen, right? I mean, we when we look into our fears, then we truly can get to some truths. And that's why these things are being mirrored and brought up to you, because like uh I know I used to define myself by my job uh when I was in corporate life, and I almost had a nervous breakdown because I was so nervous and so trying to perform and be at the top, because I had to be at the top, or that meant I was at the bottom. If I wasn't number one, I was number 1,000, or how 10,000, however many people were in there. But when I really got down to thinking about it, and I'd be like, yeah, well, the thing is the worries is the fear, and so you get to look at those things. Things will balance out, but it's all about you looking at your fears, because your fears is the energy that you're putting out, and that's impacting things. And so what I was about to say is, like, when I fear that my performance wasn't going to be good enough, and that I was going to be looked bad poorly, that my friends and my family and people, they would look down on me if I didn't do well. When I really thought about it, I'm like, really, they would? And I'm like, no, they wouldn't. And I'm like, well, what about the people that don't know me? They will think badly about me. And I'm like, then I would think, well, people who think badly about me without knowing me don't know all the facts, and they're making poor decisions. So if they're making poor decisions, why would I care about their opinion? It's an unfounded and faulty opinion. And then you start to really understand your fears, and then the fears fall away. And with that Ace of Wands that was on that Page of Wands, whatever you focus on grows. We focus on our fears, we focus on what we don't want, we focus on what we're missing, we feed it and it grows, instead of focusing on what we're grateful for, focusing on laughter and peace and joy and what we do want in our lives, then that expands too. So, there will always be fears in your job, if you have fears. And so it's like, oh, okay, so I get to look at my fears whenever they show their ugly face. I'm like, oh, here's a fear I can look at. Why do I think that that's true? What do I fear will happen? And just really follow the fear as far as it'll go. Cause you'll get down to just really fun things like, well, if I lose my job, I'm going to end up losing everything and end up on the side of, the road or outside of town. I'm going to die alone and starving and get eaten by wolves. It's like, really? Really? And so we really understand and get a really fine tune of what our fears are. And I feel like that's what spirit is wanting you to focus on is the fear at the core of your question rather than the answer to the question. And you can't help what view your boss has. You can't help what people are going to believe. They are just going to be. Yeah. Well, you have concerns and fears right now, so there they are, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have a question of, "Do I need to worry?" Because then there's that worry is there, bouncing around. And if it's not in your conscious mind, then it would be in your subconscious. It's like, "What's going on? Why is this on my mind? Why does this keep coming up?" Right? So that is what they want you to focus on is just look into those fears, because that's what helps balance things out because that helps balance out the energy. And then you're like, okay, I don't have to worry because I don't have a worry. I don't have a fear anymore because I don't fear an outcome because we always fear, well, what if your boss had a negative view of you? What does that mean? What does it mean about you? What does it really mean about you? So that's what spirit is wanting you to look into on there, Gman. So that's what they have for you. Thank you again so much for your donation and many blessings to you. All right. So let me just make sure here. All right. Yep. So we are good and we will continue going back in order here for the free readings. And we were to double, triple, quadruple X. And you want to know why are you feeling stuck? All right. Let's take a look at that. So what would spirit like you to know? Okay. All right. Well, I feel that there's some emotions going on here because you've got out of four cards, you do have the lover's card, which does have to do with emotions, emotional choices. You've got the Eight of Cups, which is about leaving behind emotions that are no longer serving you. You've got the King of Cups, who rolls over emotion, and you have the Moon card, which all this water, moon, of course, of moon phases affect the water tides and they affect our emotional bodies. So you've got all this emotion that's going on around. And so the stuckiness that's happening has to do with these two cards here because you've got the Eight of Cups is leaving behind emotions that no longer serve you, and the Moon card talks to you about the unconscious, the subconscious, about things that are happening, beneath the surface. All that's bubbling on down underneath that you may not even be aware that has been pushed down. It's like having a computer program running on your computer, like iTunes or a website that has music playing or something, and you minimize it, you still hear the music, and you're like, "What's going on? Where's the music coming from?" Because it was minimized a long time ago, and you forgot it was even running, but it's still impacting you. And so it's below the surface, and they're having you bring this up, really looking into what is it that is keeping me from moving forward? What am I holding on to? What emotion is constantly demanding to be heard and known, like a little kid that's like, on your shirt sleeve going, hey, 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 what emotion has been coming up for you a lot recently? Because it's going to be more recent that they're getting louder and louder, and you're going to be seeing the same feeling appear in multiple situations around you, either seeing people go through it or feeling it yourself. But it's being brought up to you right now because the King of Cups is the balancing of heart and mind. But even within all the choppy waters of emotions, they're still sitting stable, not fearing and worrying. But there is this ruling over the emotions and the review of them because all the kings they rule like this one rolls over their the water sign, so they roll over their sign and their element, but they're all given air. All the kings are, which is the mind, the thinking, the balancing. And so there is this going on here of this what's keeping you stuck is there's this emotion kind of being an energetic block to you that needs to be integrated and to be felt and to be looked at. And when you had the lovers card here, the this is about emotional choice. Every moment is an emotional choice between the fear of losing conditional love or that of the high realms unconditional love. And so how you're able to once you identify what emotion it is, what when like if it's let's say betrayal is coming to mind. So if like I feel betrayed by a coworker, let's say, and because they threw me under the bus under in a meeting, and I'm like, gosh, that feeling of betrayal really sucks. And it's like, okay, well, when's the last time I felt betrayal? And I think back and I'm like, oh, that friend of mine, they said that they were gonna we were gonna go do something, and then they said they were sick, but then I saw them out with another one of our friends doing something. I feel betrayed by them. Okay, so that coworker betrayal, it's a different scenarios, but it's betrayal. Then it goes back to, oh yeah, my first girlfriend or boyfriend, they betrayed me by sleeping with someone else. Oh, that betrayal. You have all this betrayal that goes back until you go into your earlier. Usually, you're going to get back to an emotion that's like 7 years old and younger, where you felt betrayed by someone, back then. That's been echoing out, trying to be seen. Your inner child was sending these messages through these messengers, your friend, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your coworker. It's all been coming up and to show you this emotion that can be transformed. And the Lover's card shows you that every moment is a choice between fear or unconditional love. And back then, when we were young, we didn't know any better. We chose mainly fear because we're, vulnerable and small, and we're like wanting to feel safe. And when we go back to a fear moment, we realize, oh, so when someone said something to me, if it was not of unconditional love, then they were doing something out of fear. And if I wasn't feeling unconditional love, I was in fear too. When a human goes into fear, it just goes into self preservation mode. When our little child feels unsafe or out of control, it sounds alarms. The adult mind or the human mind is gone, and we're animalistic, doing selfish, uncaring, unintelligent things to try to feel safe and in control again. And as you go back and look at an emotion that you went through, and you understand, oh, so they said that and did that. It wasn't personal. They were just this animal freaking out, feeling cornered, trying to feel safe and in control again. I just happened to be there. And then you start thinking about them differently, the situation differently, and yourself differently. And that transforms that emotion, which starts that flow and allows you to leave those emotion behind that doesn't serve you, and you flow forward. And that's where that stuckness becomes unstuck and when the flow starts to go. So if you can remember, if you can think around what emotion has been really making itself known, think keep on going back. When did I feel that last? When did I feel that last? And you'll get back to your earlier years where the culprit of the emotion, the stuck emotion is, and you can It's like a big plant with big roots. You're getting to the root of it, and then you can pull it out, and then it's not blocking you anymore. So that's what they have for you, double, triple, quadruple X. Hopefully that helped. Many blessings to you. All right. Keep on going down the list here. All right. So, Strawberry Rose, you will be up next. And just real quick, so if you're still here, Gmon, when we when your boss says it would mean that he does not trust me, the mirror that it shows you for yourself is, how do I not trust myself? You know, that's the mirror, that's the fear. We get into there and go, okay, no, I trust that I do the right thing, but where are your thoughts not trustworthy for yourself? One that comes to mind is that we are defining ourselves by someone else's opinion. That's not trustworthy. I would not trust myself, um, because I'm defining myself about something outside of my control. Instead, if I'm like, no, I get to define who I am, then that's trustworthy for yourself, right? So it's that kind of thinking that they're wanting you to look into and get into. It's like, I know it's very cerebral, but it's allowing and removing those obstacles. So, all right. So, Strawberry Rose, you'd like an energy update between you and Jay. What's going on? What is the future of your connection? All right. Let's take a look here and see what we've got going on. All right. Well, I do like it for you. You've got the page of cups, which is higher love, new levels of love. So I do like that. Yeah, the King of Swords, which a lot of mentalness here. The king rolls over air, and then all the kings get extra air. So this is very much a lot of communication, a lot of thoughts, a lot of mindsets, a lot of cutting away of fears and thoughts and beliefs and mindsets around relationship. And so if there's been any kind of little conflicts here and there, those are to turn us inward to really see, like, what am I fearing about relationships? What are all these roles that I have that I'm afraid of breaking? Where did these come from? And are they true? Are they necessary? They were put in place when you were younger to feel safe, but now you don't need those anymore. A lot of them are outdated. And so it's about clearing away these outdated beliefs that you don't need to worry about anymore. You are totally capable of standing on your own, surviving, sustenance. You don't need someone else to take care of you. Um, and so, like we were when we were children, so we had all this stuff. I got to make sure I keep, the people in control that buy the food, got to make sure I keep in good standing with them. Because if not, I'll starve to death. But now we're like, I'll go buy my own food, So we are, in a different place. And so there's this cutting away of these old ways that you don't need to protect yourself anymore. And I mean, you have the Four of Wands, which is the marriage card, celebration, joy. So, it's like um, the future connection, this is totally a possibility in there with the cutting away of these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that are keeping things restricted and causing blocks and causing obstacles in between, moving forward. It's like you have to maneuver around all these things. It takes a long time. It's like, am I going to take the highway that's a straight shoot and it's going to take a half hour? Or am I going to take the scenic route that's going to take 5 days because it goes like this? Has to go through all the obstacles. The more obstacles we remove, the faster we get to, the destination. But it's always all about the journey anyway. But that's what I see for you right now, Strawberry Rose. So I like it. It's all about the journey. All right. So many blessings to you. All right, Holly, you are up next. All right. And he's like, how will your first meeting with a Scorpio be like? Whoa. Let's take a look here. See what Spirit would like you to know around your first meeting with this Scorpio. All right. Whoa. So I almost lose half the deck come flying out. Well, I mean, I do like this for you. It's like bring a U-Haul. I think you're moving in together. I don't know. Well, you got the Hierophant, which is about commitment. And then you have the Eight of Pentacles, which is about movement in the outside world. And you have the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. So this, first meeting, what is it going to feel like? I mean, it feels like, um, this very, very positive, very, very much, um, who wouldn't want that unless it's someone that you don't want to be with, right? You have the Page of Pentacles, which is about new opportunities opening up. The King of Cups, which is balancing of heart and mind. Um, and then the Six of Swords, which is movement of thought and belief from old ways to think into new ways of thinking. So there is movement in expectations. There is balancing of heart and mind, and I feel like there's opportunity that comes from the future from this meeting as well. So I mean, pretty positive from what I'm seeing here. And of course, Scorpios are very, very much sensual and you know, very much intimacy and partnerish in a lot of ways too. So I think it looks really good, Holly. So I feel like it's going to be a long meeting of a lot of discussion, a lot of sharing, a lot of seeing how there's so much that you have in common that just draws you guys closer together. That you're just like, wow, what? It's going to be so crazy. I feel like, but that's what they have for you, Holly. So I like it. Let us know how it goes. All right, self love. You will be the next free reading coming up here. You want to know how will your career be in 2 years? All right, let's take a look here. Let's see what Spirit would like you to know. All right. So you have the 10 of Wands. So you're going to have put in a lot of energy and work in, but you also have received this huge harvest. So I feel like usually it's either a lot of work and then a lot of harvest, but I feel like this is both. Like you have put in a lot of energy over the 2 years, but you also have a lot of benefit and harvest because of what the energy that you've put into it. And it looks like at the 2 years, the Eight of Cups is leaving behind old emotions. So it's like you're leaving behind stuff that doesn't serve you anymore, but you're moving into the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. So I feel like you're doing really good at with all this energy and all this stuff that you put in, and then you get the reward and benefit from it, and you don't have to worry about all this stuff that you had invested in it because you're up to a new level, you're up to a new place within your career that you get to move. It'd be like, I don't know why they're showing this to me, but when you, like if you were a representative, just like an entry level or a frontline representative in a company, and you have all this stuff in your drawers. I don't know whether show me this. All this stuff in your files, stuff that has to do with that job, and you have all that stuff, and then you get promoted into a different area, and you're like, Well, that stuff doesn't have anything to do with my new area. I don't need any of that anymore. You just that all that stuff gets dumped. That's the kind of energy I'm feeling like you did all this stuff, you did all this work, and you got this promotion or you get this movement into a different because it helped qualify it, but you don't need all that anymore because you're learning all this other stuff that helps you go to the next level. And that's what I feel for you. And you have the moon card too, which for this is about cycles. It's about the new moon, the full moon, the new moon, the full moon, and just go with the flow, understanding that things do take time. I mean, even got the moon up there. So, I think he's even smiling. He looks very content that it comes in its proper timing. Just know that there's cycles, the ebbs and the flows, and just know that it will come. It just takes time for the moon to go through its new moon to a full moon back to the new moon cycle as well. So I like it for you, self love. So that's what they have. Many blessings to you. Right, Anjali, the Virgo, you are up next. You're very welcome, Holly. All right. So you'd like a general reading, and I do want to go to the Priestess of Light Oracle for you. Let's see what we have. All right. And you've got the Sacred Gratitude, Reverent Appreciation, and Prayer. Card number 50. And let's see what message comes with that. So this card brings a simple but profoundly important message to you. The woman peacefully stands alone in a quiet forest, reverently placing her hands on an ancient tree. With eyes closed, she feels a deep connection to the towering tree, truly appreciating its graceful, majestic presence in her life. This card is telling you to let go of external concerns long enough to spend some time in sacred gratitude. This reverent appreciation calls for you to pause and reflect, to truly feel the value of your life and of your earthly environment, down to the depths of your very soul. This is not so much about listing of all the good things you already have as it is about simply experiencing the wonder of being one with nature, one with your soul, and one with the planet and everything on it. This mystical approach is easy to adopt through a meditative thought, a deep breath, or a quiet smile. Be careful not to dismiss this choice as frivolous. This inwardly peaceful intention is actually a dynamic energy accelerator. Each quiet, uncluttered moment of gratitude will summon the communal grace of both the creative and magnetic forces flowing through the world, and you can ride these energetic waves with joy. So take some time to engage in this deeper sense of gratitude now. And if this card is surrounded by filled high energy cards in the spread, it's all the more important to weave these peaceful moments of grateful reflection into your daily life. Profound appreciation brings expansive and valuable results. So I'll say that again. Profound appreciation brings expansive and valuable results. And the affirmation for the card, I let go of external concerns and stop to appreciate life's deeper value. My spirit is grateful for life itself. Yeah, I like that. Beautiful, beautiful uh, message. So I love that for you, Anjali. So that's what they have for you. Many, many blessings. All right. So we'll continue going down the list. And so the next free reading up is Kritika Saini. You're gonna have to tell me how you pronounce your last name, so I don't murder it every time. You're probably going. Everyone always does. I know, like my last name, it's spelled differently, and people will always say, and I'm like, I've been calling you that for years. Why didn't you correct me? I'm like, it's just a name. But you'd like a general reading for love and career. So let's take a look. Actually, I'm going to return back here to the tarot of the magical forest. All right. Okay. I was like, really? All of those? Well, there's only 7. Only 7 cards. Let's see here. Okay. So, love and career. So, I mean, really, for both, I feel here you have the 8 of Pentacles, which is you've been putting in a lot of work, both around your approach to relationships with your inner work, and then also the work that you've been putting in towards career. And this is about movement forward in your outside world in both career and in relationship. You see here that you have both the magician and the ace of swords. It's, I mean, very similar. This is the energy of that you put forward your energy and what you want to expand and what you want to grow in your life. And so whatever you focus on is what expands and grows here coming up. So, that's why things are moving in the outside world, because you've been not so much focusing on what you fear and what's missing and what you don't want. You've been focusing on gratitude. You've been focusing on what you do want and putting your energy forward instead of, in the darker energy that contracts and shrinks. You've been putting energy into things that expand and that grow. So I like that. Um, it feels like you've been doing connection to your higher self, because look, oh, Buddha, Buddha, boo, boo. You have your higher self here with that. See if you can see the infinity symbol there above them. And so this is your higher self connecting, and it's bringing this beautiful inner, um, like an inner contentment, and this, you're finding this joy and you're finding this power within you by connecting inward and upward. And that's what's been helping you with this. That's like the inner work I was talking about around relationship and around, because you're finding the self-love that's growing, because you really have been looking at the ace of swords, which connects you to the capital T truth of the higher realm, while at the same time allowing you to cut away some of those old fears and thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that didn't they're not fitting anymore for you. They helped you when you were younger, um, to try to feel safe and try to feel um, in control, but they just were outdated and not allowing you to flow freely where you wanted to go. It's almost like a goldfish who outgrew its bowl. It's like only so much, it needs to go to a bigger aquarium. And so you're shattering it and getting to a bigger aquarium. And I feel like that's what's happened with your life, is you're just breaking free of this cage that you had yourself in, which is represented here with the 2 of wands. Is whatever you focus on is what grows. And that's what we were talking about before. This is you realizing you hold your own little world in your hands, because now whatever you focus on is what expands in your life. And here's the 2 of cups, the romance. So you do have this coming into your life here soon as well. Especially with that magician card and the ace of wands, I feel like there's fire, there's a lot of energy. And as long as you continue to focus on what you're grateful for and what you do want in your life instead of what you're missing, then that expands and it brings it faster, because your energy vibration is rising, and so it's attracting things to you at a higher, faster rate as well. So I like that for you, Kritika. Can't wait to see what unfolds, but that's what they have for you. So many, many blessings to you. All right. Just look down here. All right, we're doing good here. You are very welcome, Anjali. All right, so we'll continue going down the list of the free readings, and We're almost at the top of the hour, so I'll be on for about 30 more minutes, and this is when I do my public service announcement that, I try to get through as many free readings as I possibly can in 2.5 hours. But of course, donations do get priority. So if you make a donation, I will always make sure I complete your reading during this session. Um, and then if you're not able to make a donation, I totally understand. I mean, we all are at different places financially in our life. And in that case, if I'm unable to get down to you, I do have a ton of playlists with recorded readings, pick a cards. We have the 12/12 portal for today, monthly readings, and a variety of others. So if I'm unable to get down to you, then please, you can follow your heart, follow, your gut, and it will lead you to the playlist that has the perfect answer in the reading for you as well. So I'll that's been your public service announcement. I'll continue down with the free readings and try to do as many as we can. So Brenda, you are up next. And you wanted to know any message from your husband today. He always has something to say, right? And I do want to go to the Angels and Ancestors Oracle. Let's see what they have for you. So, for Brenda. All right. He says, "Hey, lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards." So let's see what message comes in here. So the message is reap what you have sown and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Grow and expand in all areas of your life. The lady known as the Empress in the traditional tarot is the representation of the goddess in her most fertile form. She is abundant, she is bountiful, and she's a creative being. She's closely connected to nature because it's her child. And she represents maternal energy and has more than enough love to give all who need nurturing. Yet she is a representation of the goddess Venus too, and yearns for a rich relationship with her counterpart. In this card, she holds an apple, and its seeds form a perfect pentagram, which in paganism represents the five elements of life. Fertility, growth, and abundance are all imminent when the lady arrives in your life. All the seeds you have planted are coming to life, and there are plenty more rewards to come. In a material sense, this card can represent financial security and comfort. It shows that there will be more than enough to go around. And if you're making business deals or setting intentions to create financial growth, this card indicates a considerable amount of monetary success. The lady can also usher in other forms of abundance, opportunities, marriage proposals, and even the birth of a child. She will help you respect nature and connect with its forces in order to have a genuinely supported journey through life. So I like that there's going to be plenty enough to go all around, and there's abundance in your future. But really, what stood out to me the most powerful in there is that he encourages you to grow in all areas of your life. Live, expand, grow. Don't stay stagnant and locked into the old, same old, same old. He's like, grow, grow. That's what you're here for, is to grow. So I like that for you, Brenda. So that's what he has for you. Many blessings. All right. Mars, you're so funny. All right. So Mars, you want the final puzzle piece. So what will Jay be like more in depth? Okay, let's take a look here. Don't want to take all the joy out of finding out who they are, though, right? I know. There's always so many that we can look at. All right. So they gave three different cards here. Let's look at the first two together here. So you've got the Ten of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. So this Jay has been, someone um, who's been through just a ton of expectations in their life, right? So I mean, they're not dead here. They learned, they got exhausted trying to live up to everyone's expectations, all the supposed to be's and the should be's and the need to be's and the have to be's and the must be's. And they just grew sick and tired of feeling sick and tired of it all. And then they just like that, just dropped it all and said, never mind. And they have this Ace of Pentacles. So they saw their way. This is like them looking at their worth in a total new way. They cut away that I don't define myself by everyone else's, all the stuff on the outside, or these fears of losing conditional love. They really found this very solid foundation of who they are, independently of everyone's opinion. And I really like that. Because they also, I mean, they've done a lot of this inner search. They know who they are because they've mourned when they needed to mourn. They know their power of choice, and it allowed them to really change the direction of their life. So I feel like they might have had like a, the life of where people, you see them later and people are like, oh my god, you're not even the same person, because they had such a strict and confrontational childhood and teenage years where, they not like they got caught shoplifting, but it would be like they got caught shoplifting because they were so pressured and they were so um misguided and unguided and abandoned, and so they were just trying to do whatever they could to survive. They made it through and thrived after their teenage years, where they were out on their own very early. I feel like, maybe they even like 16, 17 years old, they like were out living with other people, away from their home. Like, so they didn't have the best family life. And that allowed them to become so strong so early on. Yeah. Because they have the Queen of Pentacles, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. And again, they really nurtured themselves to have this Ace of Pentacles, that the Queen has there, that they just really um, were able to identify who they are and who they wanted to be. And because they were like, I can't depend on anyone else. And so they're very self-sufficient and strong. And the Hierophant is also about they've really gotten to their core of the truth of who they are and what they want, because they had to grow up super fast when they were young. But they're so much farther ahead in their maturity, emotionally and mentally, because of it. And they signed up for it. So there's no resentment around it. They're just like, it's a badge of honor that they carry in their life, and that they're like no regrets. They're like, it made me who I am today. That's the kind of attitude that they have. So that is another piece of it. If you want more, there's no final, but you get to experience it. You always be an unfolding. So that's what they have, Mars. So many blessings for you. All right. So Gman, we took care of that. All right. So we'll continue moving down the list here. And there we are. So Nuza Miranda, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Hello. And what should you know about your relationship with Abdu and your new promotion at work? All right. Let's take a look here. So relationship with Abdu. All right. And then promotion at work. right. And so, what do you need to know about your relationship with Abdu? Well, there's a lot of emotional confusion going on. There's a lot of emotion. It just feels like there's a variety of different things that are going on in Abdu's head. There's just, uh, I love the look on the rabbit's face. Let me see if I can, because they're just like, oh my God, I just don't know what to focus on because they have all those different things that are happening in their life. And the look on this guy's face too. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Because the Four of Pentacles is about finding a firm foundation in the outside world. And I kind of feel like they're just like, okay, okay, what is all this? Well, okay, I got to try to figure everything out. And then they have the Queen of Swords, which is a balancing of heart and mind. So I feel like they have got a lot going on in their mind. They're trying to figure out their emotions. They're trying to figure out their life on the outside. And I just feel like they're in this frenzy of activity in their life. And they're trying to find the, solid foundation. Fours are like a table with four huge legs. They're trying to find the stable foundation. So I feel like they're just emotions are swirling and then all their thoughts are swirling too. And I feel like they're looping where they're really not making any progress. They're just more circling. It's like, okay, I'm thinking about that. Okay, do I make a decision? I don't know. Let's go again. Keep going. Just keep going. And it's like there's not decision being made. They're just rehashing and kind of going in circles, both in emotion and in their head. So I just feel like, you know, their wheels are spinning, in mud. They're not going anywhere. There are a lot of activity, but they're not going anywhere. So that's what you need to know about what's going on with them right now. Nothing you can do about it. They have to figure it out. All you can do is be you and give love. You can't change their minds. You can't change their confusion of their heart. The only thing you can do is give unconditional love and then let that do its thing. Now, your promotion at work, you have the King of Wands. So I really feel like you're in a place of power because the King of Wands, whatever you focus on is what grows. But a King of Wands is like an entrepreneur, manager type of energy where they're able to really focus energy, get people to follow them, and make things happen too. So I really like that for you. You have the Justice card here, which the Justice card is about balancing things out. Normally they have, yeah, they do have the little um, scales here, but it's balancing out the small t truths of fear, the fears of losing conditional love and all that supposed to, the should, the need to, the have to. It's so restrictive, and we're able to see things from a higher perspective and kind of uh, break free from the restrictions and the thoughts and beliefs we have. So I feel like you are releasing yourself from these, any thoughts you have around worth and um, fears around getting the promotion or not. And it's there's still some more to balance out. I mean, we have tons of them that are given to us all growing up, especially throughout school about failing and being held back a grade or whatever. No, so there's this releasing of more fears that's going on, more good balancing. And then you have the Judgment card too, which is like your higher self calling you to this place. And I kind of feel like with that, with this combination, that what is meant for you will not pass you by. And so with this promotion, um, I just feel like you just being yourself, being your uh, sharing your abilities and sharing the energy of who you are, and it unfolds, it moves forward. Um, because I feel like it is meant, like higher self is going, what's meant for you won't pass you by, and I'm going to take you in the perfect place for you for your work. So I like that. So that's what they have for you. So many, many blessings for you. All right. So continue going down the list here. And so the next free reading is Juan Martinez. And hello. And he said, should you call your ex before or after the end of the year? You're both Cancer signs. Okay, let's take a look here. So there really is no shoulds from the higher realms. There's two different energies that will happen if you call her this year or you call her after the end of the year. So I'm going to pull cards for both. So if you call her before the end of the year in the next couple weeks, all right. And then if you call her after, and then I'm going to ask an additional question. Is it in your highest experience to call? All right. So, yeah, I don't see it for the end of the year. You've got two nines here. Nines are the hermit's journey. This is about you inner work. So, becoming content with yourself on the, on your inner, and the nine of wands is really understanding your power because, um, you know, wands is your drive, your ambition, your passion, and this is like energy blocks. But both of the nines, nine is the hermit's card in the major arcana, and that's about the inner search. The hermit withdraws into themselves. So, and then you also have the world card, which is his little. It almost looks like he's waving a white flag. It's the ending of an old cycle and new beginning. So I feel like if you called before the end of the year, it would be an ending, like a permanent ending. And then let me take this other one over here. Okay. After the end of the year, you have the strength card, which is more about you connecting with your higher self and realizing that you are only going to find what you're looking for from the inside. This is the love of the higher self. There's like a infinity symbol above their head here, which represents your higher self. This is your human self. This is the love that you're looking for, is from inward and upward. And um, when I asked, is it in your highest experience to contact them? I mean, you got the the decision making, standing in the middle of the road, making a decision. On one hand, you have emotional confusion. On the other hand, you have conflicting energy. So I feel like it's like whatever decision you make ends up in obstacles because the five, if you think about odd numbers, like a six is three on each side, there's this beautiful flow of energy. But a seven, there's this obstacle in the road that keeps you. And then like a five, four, two on each side is wonderful, but a five, there's a block in there. And I feel like either way it goes, um, that spirit is saying that consider it's not in your highest experience to reach out and contact them. Uh, Turn inward to really look at and work on that, expanding the self-love inside, because it's like both of those, like it ends in one is just confusion, a lot of emotions, a lot of just helter-skelter emotions. The other is like conflict and energy that's just fiery and like battling. And it's like, okay, so what do I do? And they're like, turn inward. And of course, Cancer signs too. Your guys are tons of emotion. So, but that's what they have for you on. I know not quite what you were looking for there. Like, I just wanted to know which one was best. And then Spirit's like, option C. Yeah. End death, ending and new beginning. Like, don't let it go and let it end. It is ended. Let it stay ended. Because there's really work inward and look and like they said, work on the self-love, understanding what you learned through this situation about your fears. What mirror did you see? Like when you look at them, they're like, well, they were this way. It's like, well, how were you that way with yourself? And how were you possibly that way with them? So there's this growth that comes from this, but they're like, at this point, they're like, let it stay. Don't beat a dead horse. Let the little dead horse stay dead right now. So that's what they have for you, one. So many blessings. Hang in there. I know. I know. All right. So we'll keep on moving down the list here. And so Kay, you want to know, how did ER feel towards you when he saw you today? All right, let's take a look. How did ER feel? Okay. Oh. Well, I don't know why he felt heartbroken or disappointed and like conflicting, like mental confliction. So I don't know what was happening with here. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys are, if like this is something new that you guys are doing, or if this is like you guys had broken up and they saw you and it made their heart hurt again. Um, but there seems to be a lot of confliction around expectations and thoughts and beliefs and mindsets where this feels like there's disappointment. And again, the Five of Swords is like, you can see there's people walking away way over there, way in the background over here, that there was this battle, you know, um, things were said, and uh, it's like, well, I proved I was right, but I may have won the battle, but I lost the war. It's like, well, I didn't want it to end that way. I wanted, us to come to this thing, but I won. I proved up my point, but then they didn't want to stick around for the point. I kind of feel, because you have the Seven of Pentacles here, which is, in this one particular, with this energy that I'm feeling here, I kind of feel like it's movement, like a change of direction that's happened. And it's like a change towards joy, and a movement towards, this is like celebration, marriage, and different things like that. And I feel like there's a change um, uh, away from that, just with all this combination. It just seems weird. It just feels like there was some shaking and rattling and rolling around expectations and communication that has caused things to go in a different direction regarding that. So let me see if they'll tell me anything more about this, but that's what I'm feeling there. Yeah. It almost feels like there's a third party. When we're talking about relationship, there's like, since there's not a lot of joy, joy, joy that's coming through in the cards, this to me usually means that there's like not a love triangle, but that there's two interests. And that's what is coming through. I don't know if that resonates there, but it just feels very, very odd emotions that were coming through. So there is this shaking up going on within them for sure. But that's what they have for you, Kay. So hang in there. Many blessings to you. All right, Miss Jean, you are up next for the next free reading. And I'm only going to be on for about another 10 more minutes. So if you are wanting to make a donation to have your reading completed in this session, now is the time to do that. And then if you're not able to make a donation, I understand completely. I do have a ton of videos on my playlist that are free. Weekly energy updates, pick a card readings, 12/12 portal readings monthly, just a ton. I put out a lot of content. So, but follow your heart and spirit will guide you to the reading that has your answer if you're needing something. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow night. I'm on every night, and then also Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings at 11. There's also, I have a playlist here a giveaway playlist, which has just there we go. See if I can do this with all this stuff in the way without closing down everything. Okay, there it goes. So at the top of the giveaway playlist is the a video about how you can enter a weekly drawing for a chance to win a 30-minute free personal recorded reading. So be sure to check that out too. I'll try to get through as many free readings as I can, but I just want to make sure if you absolutely want to make sure I get to your reading, that donations do make it a priority. And I will make sure it gets done in this session. All right. So Miss Jean, I am doing well. I hope you're doing well. And are you wasting your time with that Gemini that you're currently dealing with? Let's take a look here. So what would you like? Is this Gemini worth the time? Is this Gemini worth the time? Okay. Well, kind of feel like here with all these cards together. I mean, you got the Three of Wands, which is changing direction. You've got the ending of old cycles and heading off in a new direction. And so I like that for you about, no, I don't think it's really going to bring you what you're looking for there with those going, no, they're kind of waving you off because you have the King of Wands here, which is you taking um, more charge of the situation, directing your energy, and you're just like, "Yep, you know what? I don't want this. I don't want to deal with all this. It's too much. It almost feels like it's too much work. I want to focus my energy, and I know, um, you know what's best is what that King of Wands says. You know what's best of where you direct your energy, and you know when you feel like it's being sucked off into a black hole, you're like, no. And because what you want is this. I mean, you want marriage, and you want this is the marriage card. You want marriage, you want commitment, you want 10 of cups, you want overflowing, you want, the rainbows and the beautiful emotions overflowing. And you're not getting that. And that's what you want. And it's like, and you're like, I don't want to settle, and I'm not going to. And so I feel like you are ready to invest your energy elsewhere because you're like, I'll only pour so much energy into the black hole or flush so much money down the toilet, right? It's like, I'm done. So, yeah, I feel like you knew that. And so you're like, okay, I just needed confirmation that my energy that I was picking up is correct, and you are correct. So, but definitely that others in your future, you have that possibility. Otherwise, they'd say, "Yeah, that's as good as you're going to get," but it's not. So, yay! So I like it for you. I know it's like, oh, I kind of like them though, but it's like, yeah, more use of your energy somewhere else. All right, so that's what they have for you. Right? Let me just double check here. All right, so there's been no donation, so we'll continue on with another free reading here. And Ju Lu, you are up and you like a general reading. Oh, what's that little sad face for? The little desperate face. Let's take a look here. I feel like your angels and ancestors want to talk to you. So let's take a look here. All right. So Ju, all right, here we go. So you have the Sage card here, which says, be devoted and committed. And let's see what sage advice that they have. Is that where that came from? All this time I didn't know. But it says, be willing to go the whole road and back again. This will allow you to be the best that you can possibly be. The sage represents the wise one within. When this card arises, it shows that you are preparing to become a great and insightful teacher to your peers. It guides you to take notes as the wandering yogi is on the card, because your knowledge and life experiences can impart incredible insights to those with who you come into contact. This card is also about observation and becoming more aware of who you are and of all your inner workings, because that awareness can bring more clarity to your decisions. The extended message says devotion is a powerful energy. Right now, angels and ancestors want to acknowledge how committed you are to your growth. Your continued dedication to this aspect of your life has been recognized, and your understanding that you are not only a body, but also a soul is all you need to continue growing and expanding. The energy of oneness is offering itself to you now, and it's important you take some time to integrate it all so that you can be supported and guided by it. This is what the divine wants for you. Make a note of experiences or teachers making themselves known to you at this time, because you are going to share those teachings one day too. Ooh, I like it. So, definitely understanding that you are so much more than you're human. You are this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being that's made of unconditional love, having this human experience. And everything that you're going through on purpose for a purpose. And one day, like what you're learning and what you're overcoming, because you've overcome 100% of any challenge you've had in your life, or you wouldn't be here right now. All this is going to help be part of someone's survival guide in the future. So, really look at what you're going through, how you've overcome everything in the past, and just know that you are going to be a teacher for peers, and you're going to help people that are going through things that you've already gone through, and things that you're going through now. You'll come across people that'll be going through it later. Whatever you're learning and the strength that you get from it, and the ways that you overcome it and move through it, are going to be so helpful. So I like it for you. So hang in there, almighty teacher. Many blessings to you. All right, Julu, that is what we have for you. And I think I have time for one more free one. So this will be my last free reading for this session. That'll be for Aprilia 81. All right. Hello. And you say blessings. How does Bob and Chanel feel and think about you currently? All right. Let's take a look here. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm not sure if you've checked out my pick a card with soulmates. Here, I'm going to post this because this is good for anyone else too. That if you have a question around love, this pick a card might help you guys if I wasn't able to get to your reading today. But it's what messages your soulmates, your soul partners, your twin flame twin flame have for you. But let's take a look here and see. First of all, Bob. What's up with Bob? Okay. And then what about Chanel? All right. So Bob feels like he's really gone into this. The world card is an ending of old cycles and new beginnings, and the Four of Pentacles is really about them standing on their own worth and the stability in their outside world. I feel like they've just kind of went on into their own world, into a new world, and so their life is just seems so um, focused on that. So it's like you're asking, how does Bob feel about you? Like they're focused on this other world that they're living now, and they're not even thinking about anything from the past. They're just totally, almost feel like they're, you know, kind of like a fire sign. Well, you said they were Aries Pisces. Okay. Because I was like, I feel like a fire sign where they're like movement, movement, movement. They move forward. It's like a fire, fire moves forward. It doesn't go, oh, well, let me go back. It doesn't, because it's already burned through whatever. It doesn't have anywhere to burn back towards. They're always moving forward like a rapid forest fire moving forward. And that's what I feel like with them. They don't look back to anyone. They're always moving forward. Forward, forward, forward. So that's what I feel with Bob. Chanel, you know, interesting. So yeah, I mean, you got there was a lot of emotional confusion when it comes to their feelings around you, but they have a new love. This Page of Cups is a new love that came into their life, and so there was emotional confusion, but they're just like they're just focused on this new love that's coming in here. Yeah, because they have this new birth, the new things in the outside world as well, new opportunities, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. It's all about the way that they're looking at themselves in relation to the outside world. But I really feel like that Knave, the Page of Cups, is so much about their outside new love that they have. Um, that they are focused on that, and then all that emotional confusion was just like, I just don't want to think about this. Don't talk to me. It's confusing. Um, and they wanted to dedicate to a new love as well. So yeah, I'm seeing the Tower card in my head, which tells us that people are moved out of our lives on purpose for a purpose, to make room and space for those that are more in alignment with the future and where we're going, and to clear the path so that we could head in the direction that we're destined to go. So, it's nice to look and at old relationships, but the biggest thing you can do is, what did you learn about yourself through them? Because that's what their purpose was, to mirror back to you how you feel about yourself. And so, if you feel abandoned, let's say, then it's like, oh, how did I abandon myself? Because that's what the mirror is for. Oh, I abandoned myself when I looked for my worth in other people. I know that's something that I went through with abandonment. I'm like, oh, I was looking for them to define my worth. And because they, in my ego mind, left me in the dust, I was devastated and felt abandoned. But they were like, hey, you abandoned me a long time ago, because, self worth comes from self, but you abandoned me to go out there and try to find worth out there. I was here all along. You abandoned me. Like, oh, I abandoned myself. That was the mirror that they were trying to show me. But that's what they have for you. So hang in there, Aprilia. Many, many blessings to you. And thank you, all of you, so much for all the thumbs up that you gave the video. I mean, that you do. Any comments, all you subscribers, all those things help spread the love to the world through these videos. And I'm so, so grateful and appreciative for it. Thank you for being part of the big love tsunami that we send out to the world. Appreciate all your love, all the love you give to each other in chat, our little soul family. And I so sorry if I wasn't able to get down to you guys before the end here. And but please, if you need an answer right away, please check out my recorded readings, the playlist. Just click on my name, Bretta Zen Mystic Tarot. It'll take you to the playlists, all on that main page, and just follow your heart. I will be back tomorrow night. So until then, please know that every second of every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and father of all things. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, have a great night or a great day wherever you're at in the world, and we'll see you soon. You take care.